Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here with my boy Time Wizard because it is, of course, Thursday. Thursday means Time Wizard progression. Today, again, we're still stuck in treasure format. The year is October. The month is October. The year is 2002. 23 years in the past. And what we're doing is we are reliving some of like the glory early days of Yu-Gi-Oh! And our decks. So one of the cool decks that was available at this point in time, but was sort of kind of out of the price range of a lot of players in my area, because my area, it didn't really get big until I got another couple of sets, and that's when we started having like the players that we would have called the whales and stuff. The people who had like proper paying jobs and like were either like high school with like a job so they could just buy whatever they wanted, or like they were like just proper adults that found a game that they enjoyed and they just had disposable income at the time. So that being that, this is, I don't have a clever name. We're just gonna call it Dark Beatdown, and it's in a Time Wizard format. So like, if you play Treasure format, this is something you could play. Um, so again, I'm gonna go. This should just be 40 cards in total. I don't think I went the normal 42 like I usually do. And I've honestly got two proxies in here. So without any further ado, let's just get it for you, right? Like, I start by having a single copy of Cannon Soldier because, again, I can find this Cannon Soldier whenever I need him. I didn't feel the need to play too many copies of him, not because like he gets limited later and he gets banned later. It's not. I'm not trying to like hedge my bets against when I can and cannot play this guy. I just think he's good as a one of. The effect, again, tribute a monster card that you control, inflict 500 points of damage to the opponent. Again, like after a lot of like post battle phase attacks and stuff, this is like a win condition, like just even at one of. So good card. Something that was available to just about everybody. Again, that would have been like a regular rare and Metal Raiders. Common out of the legend. Sorry, no, not legend, but the blue eye. No, sorry, that's wrong too. The Kaiba starter deck was Lajin Mystical Genie of the Lamp. And again, decided to go with the old school art this time just because, I like to mix it up and go back and forth a little bit. Again, just generically dark, 4 stars, 1800 attack power. Good card, great card, iconic card. One of the cards that priced us out of this at this point in time was the Mechanical Chaser, Tournament Pack 1's Ultra Rare. Again, it was 1850. It's a 4-star Dark Machine. This thing was like crazy then, but that's the beauty of playing a Time Wizard format. We get to go back in time. We get to go to the format. We get to visit it with any cards that we have. Now, as you can see, these ones are speed duel copies. Doesn't matter. We get to play the format for what the format was and forget all the you got priced out of playing the game. So good stuff. Again, not super searchable in this deck still. We're going to be playing 3 copies, Mystic Tomater. I love me a Tomater. This dude's evil. He's cool looking. He's a searcher for dark attribute. When he gets destroyed by battle, you get a 1500 or less written stat. Dark monster out of your deck in attack position. So again, Tomato can go for Tomato, can go for Tomato, can go for Cannon Soldier. Or it could go for, I don't know, Sangan. Sangan at 2. Sangan is a weird one. So Sangan says when sent from field to grave, you get to, this is a really old one. This actually says move 1 monster with an attack of 1500. What it is it's add 1 monster with 1500 attack or less from the deck to the hand and shuffle the deck afterward. And since this is an old one, this is fine because this is how this was played back then. It's none of that additional errata from today. So we're good. Play it as you see it there. We're also going to be playing 2 copies of Summon Skull because Summon Skull is a good beater. Again, I don't remember. This was probably not in the Yugi pack. The Yugi deck. This would have been Metal Raiders, regular rare, Spell Ruler, regular rare, Ultra Rare, Tournament Pack 1, Common, Starter Deck Kaiba, regular rare Metal Raiders. This would have been common in Starter Deck Yugi and Ultra Rare in Metal Raiders for the people, again, trying to foil it out. Just a good dark monster, 2500, single tribute, 1200 defense, kind of makes them searchable, like I said, with the other big beaters, because we are going to be using 2 copies Witch of the Black Forest. So that is going to round out my monsters. Again, Witch is going to be able to search literally every card in the deck. because she is the same effect as Sangan, except she says defense. So 1,500 less defense when this goes from field to grave, and you can add that to your hand. So she can add any one of these. Sangan can add the tomatoes, other Sangans, witches, and cannon soldier. The Mystic Tomatoes can play themselves, the Sangans, the Witch, or the Cannon Soldier. And again, it's just a big, beautiful deck. Moving into the spells, we're going to play some pretty basic stuff for the time period. Change of Heart, good move. Again, we don't always have to give it back. We've got Cannon Soldier, we've got Skulls. We have avenues to where we don't have to return the monster. Confiscation, because again, it's treasure format. We're starting to attack the hand and take away options from opponents. This is a good way to do so for 1,000 life. Dark Hole, good destruction. Turn the tide. Maybe they didn't attack us. Maybe we've only got like a Sangan or something in defense. We bluffed them. They didn't want to hit our card. They set up a little something, or maybe they went defensive. Who knows? You can Dark Hole, maybe gain some advantage, parlay that into an offensive strike. I don't know, but it's a good card. Delinquent Duo, for 1,000 points, you're taking 2 cards out of their hand. I'm going to play the Monster Reborn. Again, like anything that you do with the Cannon Soldier, we can go ahead and we can bring it back. So if we change a heart, like whatever, the opponent summons Skull, doesn't matter. We contribute it for our summon Skull, get it, Monster Reborn, bring back their Skull. Now we got 2 Skulls, good plays. Again, Cannon Soldier, it kind of extends it for an extra 500. Sometimes that's enough for game. Same thing with the Sangans or the Witches. We'll bring it back, tribute it out for the Skull, get the search, whatever. Tons of plays. The card I had to proxy 2 of is Mystic Plasma Zone, okay? Spell Ruler, common. As you can see, this is a Spell Ruler copy. Increase the attack of all dark monsters by 500. Decrease their defense by 400. So, let's redo our stats, right? Cannon Soldier is on field 19. Lajin is 23. Mechanical Chaser is 2350. Mystic Tomato is 19. Sangan is 15, Witch is 16. And Summon Skull is hitting with the full force of a Blue Eyes White Dragon at 3,000. Again, we're not really trying to play in defense mode, so the defense downgrade doesn't really affect us too much. But what you're going to notice is like this is just like a really cool way of saying like, watch me use pocket steroids and get my characters super huge to where we just command everything. And again, Dark was always like the strongest attribute back then. This just made Dark decks even stronger. Again, sort of a push when you're playing against a mirror match. But again, if you can go ahead, you're not playing a mirror match, you know, you hit the Dark Hole, you rip into whatever you rip into. You know, summon like Tomato, play Plasma Zone. Like, even if you get rid of my Tomato in combat, like, I'm bringing out somebody else. And they're, again, going to be pretty stacked. And it means bigger damage if I get further just direct attacks as well. Continuing on. 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, because, again, I'm pretty sure that was just the ban list at the time was at 2. That's what I used in the last deck. I literally just carried it forward. Because, again, it's just enough. It's just enough. Single copy Pot of Greed, because we didn't have Graceful yet. Single Geki, because, again, Field Destruction. Talking about pocket steroids, we are playing 2 copies Rush Recklessly. So even without the Mystic Plasma Zone, we have the option to, on a quick play, bind you. So we don't have to wait. We don't have to set it like we did Reinforcements. We get to, you know, just add 700 to our attack, which is crazy when you remember that, again, this could be a mirror match. And they're like, well, I'll hit my Tomato versus his Tomato. He's already used like 2 of them. I know that I'll win through the exchanges real quick. And I'll be able to settle on a better monster last. And then, you know, no, Rush Recklessly and whatever. Just put it out of reach, out of mind. Continuing on, copy of Snatch Steal, because again, it was good. This was like an ultra rare. This would have been a regular rare. This was an ultra rare. This was a regular rare, ultra rares. Just to keep up with what was going on. This was a common back then. This is the original like ultra rare. Dark Hole was ultra and common. The Mystic Plasma Zones, yeah, I caught back up. We're good. Confiscation was a super. Next up, the super rares would have been 2 copies of Swords of Revealing Light. Again, you guys should be pretty familiar with this spell. Good stuff. Again, it was just a matter of like, sometimes you had to like take a turn, build a better board before you went back at your opponent. Copy of the Forceful Sentry. Don't actually remember the rarity of this one. This one could have been like a super rare. I don't think it was a regular rare. It was either a super or an ultra. It's fine. Metal Raiders gave us the ultra rare Mirror Force. Again, this was limited to one because of how good it was and still kind of is. 2 copies Solemn Judgment, because again, I do like to say no to things. Especially like if you have the big board set up and your opponent's like Geki, or they're like Dark Hole. No. Just no. I used it mostly for spells and traps. It was a good way to walk through Mirror Force. It was a good way to not let your opponent put up a swords before you had something like an MST. If you had MST set, you didn't care. You let them activate their swords. Then you'd wait and see what they do, and then you'd destroy the swords. And then last but not least, because I just liked it best, at three copies of Trap Hole. And again, this was like, I think it was a common in the starter decks, was a regular rare in the first Legend of Blue Eyes, maybe. Trap Hole's a good trap. It was one of the best traps of the early game. Again, we weren't doing a whole lot of special summoning, so if you took out the normal summon, the tribute summon, the flip summon, well, not the flip summon, the normal or the tribute, Trap Hole basically like made your opponent pass turn for the most part. You'd still have options where they go ahead and take your monster card and hit you with it, or snatch, steal, Monster Reborn. These were still things. They weren't as crazily, like, painfully obvious things at the time. So this is the deck. This is like 40 cards. Again, if you guys are like, oh, what would you put in your side deck? Anything that you are allowed to play that you don't see here. So like a third Solemn Judgment, copies of Wabaku, Fishers, anything that you like that. Giant Trunade should probably be mentioned at this point. Giant Trunade was a great way to, in fact, bounce your own swords so that you could replay your swords and extend the length and life of your swords and Revealing Light. It was silly. This is like the Dark Beatdown, brought to you by Mystic Plasma Zone, and of course, the Time Wizard format of Treasure format. So again, it's kind of fun to see, like, you get to play these attributable things. Something I'm looking forward to in the next portion is once we have like Tournament Pack 2 technically available. Like, I realized I reviewed it, but it wasn't really allowed until the next format. Once we have that, we were able to play this like really cool Umi build, and an even better Umi Ruka build. So 2 really cool things that I want to show you guys the next time around. This was the deck this time. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, consider supporting the channel. Easiest, simplest ways. Probably finish doing them before I finish talking for this video. Like, comment, sub. Of course, you can always add that little notification bell. That's fine too. If you want to help us getting some of these older cards, again, I'm missing some of these commons, like these Mystic Plasma Zones. The Buy Me a Coffee is a great way to help us get to those cards. Same thing with sleeves. But more important than that, I just want you guys to enjoy the videos. I want you guys to have a great day. So, for now, you guys do that. I'm going to get back to work. I do have one more deck coming out this week. It is scheduled for Saturday. We are doing a Clown Control in Speed Duel. So, if you enjoyed that, stop by, check it out, see if I did it good enough, and let me know your thoughts on it, all right? All right. See you later, guys. Have a great day.